Let's Get High and Read the Bible is brought to you by Magic Medicine Marijuana, found here in the sunny apocalypse that is Los Angeles, California. I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am, because I fucking love the Bible. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't know if you know this about me, but I think the Bible's it's neat. I think it's a hoot. I can't come. Let's talk about it. Let's read it. Let's get fucking high and read some Bible.
I'd like to start off with a nice cough for you.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
Dude.
How you feeling? How you doing?
Me, I'm sucking a big man fucking dick. What?
Oh,
what?
no, for real?
Wait, what? No, that was a good thing. Like, if I was, like, really into that, I'd be like, yeah, fucking sucking a dick. Love that. Love that.
Is it a good thing?
Oh, baby,
Are you doing good?
How could it not be? It's a fucking big fat dick in my face.
It's that bad? I'm going to light up
It's
now.
going to be that kind of podcast, Leif.
Yeah, right off the bat.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing as good as can be. Everything broke right before we started. I couldn't get the power. Everyone's doing great.
Yeah.
The Spirit of Christ compels us.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, Leif. I think it's really important to keep in mind that, like, you don't have to think about it like God or Jesus or Yahweh or fucking, what's the dude's name that's in the John Travolta show?
L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, you're not going to think about it like, I like to think about it like the Force and the dark side. Or the Matrix works really well. I think the Matrix works.
The Matrix is better.
The Matrix is great, right? Because the Matrix isn't good or bad.
No, in fact, we're the ones that make it bad. Because it like started out as a utopia, but we rejected that shit.
A blight.
Because we're fucking evils.
Well, no, we're just a blight. We're not evil.
A blight.
See, a blight. So just know.
Walk me through this.
Oh,
I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh dear. Okay, well. You may or may not know that I grew weed for a while.
Really?
I had a legal weed farm.
You had? Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, is that real? And one of the biggest things you worry about is pests, right? Is aphids or mites or whatever.
Okay.
And the way you can tell is you turn over the underside of the leaf and it's like you see just because that cannabis should be just fucking the greenest thing you've ever seen, right? Kind of like the night sky is dark, no stars. That's green. You see little spots of white, you're like, oh fuck, something's going on there.
Yeah.
And when it gets really bad, it's the top of the leaf and it starts like it's bubbling sort of white. Little like really dense parts, and then it kind of spreads out from there.
Every grower's worst nightmare.
Well, and then one time my sister sent me this satellite footage of light pollution. And I was like, that looks exactly like mites on a pot leaf.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I was like, oh, I get it. We're a blight.
And so the asteroids come because they're really like basically some medication.
A cleansing.
Taken.
Yeah.
I don't like this. But like, wouldn't that be, what if it's technology that's the blight? Because what if humans were still acting like monkeys? We wouldn't have any of that fucking, any of that pollution.
What if there were no humans to turn on the light switches?
You don't like humans?
No, I love humans. I'm a human. I love you.
Yeah. Okay.
I think love is almost, well, it's not specific to humans, but I think it's pretty, like, I think humans go out of their way the most to find it or to hide it or to destroy it or to
write about
hold
it
it
or
up.
make movies about it. Yeah. But like what you said kind of fucking sucks. And I think I see what you're
I
saying.
well,
I see
well,
from
it,
space.
it it goes along with what I've been saying about how I feel like we're so far down the wrong path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if we were still, and I was thinking about this while I was walking the damn dog just now.
Boom.
All of this, all of this ancient technology people are like looking for because of these artifacts that could only have been made on like supercomputers or 3D printers, sort of things. Like
I don't know much about this. That's cool.
that Uncharted X guy.
Oh yeah, I haven't. Okay. Tell me about it.
Super interesting. He takes these they've found these they're barely artifacts. They're just it's like a little vase, and they were made in mass. They found them just like in a pile in tombs, you know.
Oh wow.
And they did so they're not like they weren't special to whoever made
They're
them.
like the fucking Target or Costco.
They were like fucking
brand.
Tupperware. Exactly. Yeah. Only they're made out of this really, super really hard granite and other materials that you can't hand chisel. And
Damn.
the mathematic when they analyze these things digitally, like all of the what's the golden ratio
Yeah.
is everywhere.
Like the Fibonacci sequence shit.
That and the whole circle thing where so what's the old geometry called?
I've never even taken geometry. So.
No, I haven't either. I should go ask Katie. She knows all this stuff. But anyway, it's based on pi. It's mathematics based on pi. We do something that's like based on 10. What's that?
Okay, nothing. I was trying to say how far I could go with it. I didn't even make it to the second. Didn't make it to the point.
I didn't even make it through the word. anyway, like there's you'd have to check it out. Uncharted X, Ben something or other, super interesting dude.
Do they have a date for when these things were made?
No, pre-dynastic is what they call it because it was before the dynasties of Egypt started.
Okay,
so
be like, speak to me like I'm dumb.
Yeah, so pre-dynasty. Yeah, that's when they get but they also get attributed to being made with a hand and a chisel. It's like you just look at it, it's whatever.
Oh wow!
Anyway,
so essentially,
a lot
of
of this
accuracy of the shit and how like complex it is with how hard the material is. There's no way.
It's like the pyramids. It's like the pyramids, only in a little tiny vase. Like the math and the science that went into making it is something we can't do right now. And it could have only been done. It could have only been done like on a computer type apparatus. Like you program something in because you couldn't even hold it. You couldn't even change a tool out, the ratio would be, So,
Jesus,
so it's all this old. So like at some point, we don't know how the pyramids were made, but what I was thinking, sorry to finally bring this back around. It's like this lost technology that I think was more in tune, like literally in tune with the earth, like vibration.
Yeah, vibrationally.
I think that and it's gone. We lost it, and I think maybe somebody knows about it. Probably the fucking I bet it's in the Vatican, archives.
Or like some weird, like not even like someone higher than a Rothschild's basement. Then they're like pyramid underground somewhere.
Or maybe not, or maybe it's just gone. But but I figure I don't know. But what I do know is that we're never gonna know. And
maybe,
so this is just a we're kind of just running out the clock until a rock hits us again.
Fuck that. That's so scary.
I know, but I don't I don't want to think that's real.
Well,
because we got young guys coming up. We got our fellas turning into people.
Yeah,
and hopefully maybe they can steer the ship in a better direction. But
dude,
I don't have confidence in that.
I love those fuckers so much. I mean, I do sometimes get jealous of how easy their life is. You know, I catch myself being like, you guys, you little spoiled, you know, because it's like they've got like Saturdays off and it's not raining on their face and, you know, in their house. And like, but they're like,
Yeah, but
they're
what
the
life
best.
skills do they have?
Dude, they're crazy smart. They're great.
They're smart, but what
They're,
life skills?
oh, I'm hoping to introduce some more to that. I think I like the house thing. I want to try to buy a home every other summer and like make them flip it with me. Stuff like that. Like you just, one thing my parents did right is I have no, my baby's going to yoga. I never went to school. I have no book skills, never taken a test. But like by the time I was 18, I'd built 3 homes from the foundation to the top of the roof, you know? And so like, and lived in Russia, you know? And so like experience was always kind of king at our house. You know, you even when I was 14, we bought a latte stand, and then all the siblings worked there. Like, or 15, you know.
Yeah, you have. So you're gonna pass that on. But
Yeah.
how old Zeke?
13.
Yeah. So clock is fucking ticking, Holmes.
Oh God, it's so hard. Yeah, right. Exactly, dude.
Dude, C Money's going to college.
Dude,
C Money's leaving my I was
C-Money's
bawling my
going
eyes out last night because we were watching this fucking dumb
Hell
TV
no.
show. What?
My dog's gonna cry because she just loves mom.
Well, everyone loves your mom.
Yeah,
His mom.
yeah. Kate's the best. Yeah. She just said, "But you want to come sit up here?" So, C Money. Sorry, this movie you're
Yes.
watching.
Yeah, I was just bawling my head off, and I think a lot of it was because I had just thought about dude's leaving, and I'm in a probably not forever, but maybe he goes out and he just crushes it, and this is the last 4 months he and I are going to live together till he's wiping my ass.
Yeah, but I mean, what a beautiful cycle. And it's also weird because
Yes.
I just remember him in the car seat.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's
No, I know.
strange.
Me too.
Right.
Me too. Although it's so weird how time works because that seems like another lifetime ago, and he's been taller than me for 3 years. You know?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, you okay?
I want to say some shit. God
She
damn
went.
it.
Oh, she bent over to get some loves.
Oh.
Yes. Hello. She's very sad.
Where did that-
Do you get very sad when mom leaves? Now I have to deal with this. God, that was probably not smart. Gotta talk right into the end of the. I love you. Okay, you're safe and you're beautiful and you're great. I love you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah!
Daddy's got to read the Bible. The one thing that fills me with false confidence about this not being the end of the world was like,
Yeah.
well, there's just so much. Like Jesus talks about it so much.
Jesus didn't live.
I think he did, but yeah,
I know, but he's not real.
I think that's yeah.
You know what you can't do, Leif? You can't prove it.
Um,
And
it's
I'm just about done with this fucking
so
facade.
hard.
No,
It
it's
is-
not. It's not. It's not hard. You can't prove it.
No, I mean
You can't prove it.
Well, you can. There's actually a lot of the Bible's
actually a
the
lot of-
most read
there's a lot of,
book
you
in
know-
the world.
What?
The Bible's the most read book of all time.
It's got the best marketing team ever.
I think it got the story the most correct, right? And I think regardless of whether Jesus lived or not, you're still right.
Oh.
You're still right because what we can know about him is lost, unfortunately. At least the historical Jesus. as
What we
who he
can
is.
know about him, his
What-
existence.
And again, the thing that proves your shit so well, and even Bart Ehrman's kind of into, is there's no secular text about him during his life. You know, like we'll read up here, like there's like lots, 5,000 people come and see him talk. Like there's just people going. There's people like breaking through roofs to try to get to see him. You know, so you think if he was like fucking this much of a phenomenon, there'd be like a Jewish or a Roman or a
Dude, we were trying to go down to the temple, and the fucking crowd was crazy for that JC dude, man. I don't know what the like not a fucking whiff.
But I will say, I mean, the archetype of what he represents is really interesting. Like what Kevin said, Kevin Whitmore, where he's like, what a radical idea, where the religion around in Jesus' time is so based around a temple and going places and giving. And he's like, no, go into your closet and say, hey, Dad, I'm here. You know, so like maybe the bullshit that all of us have been spoon-fed by the fucking horrible institutions that have took over this narrative and like have been tax-free money grabbing for thousands of years now. Maybe we get to take back right now, and we can like start actually seeing at least what the Bible says about this guy, right?
Yeah, you know, that's all well and good. I just
I prepared for this because I expected this kickback, and I'm excited.
Well, no,
like,
it's that part where like fucking prove it. You know, I'm some days I'm like, oh yeah, man,
well, here's
cool.
the thing.
And some days I'm like, you know what? Fucking prove it.
From about 50 AD on, there is an incredible amount of writings about this person. In fact, there are more copies of the New Testament than there are from anything from antiquity. At the latest count, there's like 5,800, I think, which is a lot. So that is that right there. Even if you want to discredit it, that's a, you know, that. I mean,
what year was that?
I mean, Paul's are the earliest, and I'm sure like Dan would know something. But he's like, there is a vase painted to blah blah blah. You know, so
How
like
many?
50 AD. So it's about 20 years after he died.
Okay, and how many books were there in existence?
Tons.
Yeah,
that's the problem. I mean, they have tax records. I mean, at this point, they're living in metropolitan areas essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is. You're just so you're not. I can't get you to even come down the road. Hey, look down the path. You're like,
well, no
bullshit.
It's like you're like that cul-de-sac right there is a thoroughfare. I'm like, dude, I can see the end of it.
Wrong, brother.
I can see the end of the house right there, dude. Why do you? Yes, maybe there was a street there, but it doesn't go anywhere. Look, you see kids playing. An ice cream truck is pointed at us because it can't go any further.
And I know it might not work for everyone, but again, for me, but
my problem is that like what you're. I totally get this part. I get the faith part. You have faith.
Well, not the faith that you maybe are thinking though.
You have faith that Jesus Christ lived without any proof.
No, there's tons of. You can't say there's not proof. Okay, there's not proof of you taking a shit yesterday. Whatever proof has gone away. There's tons of writings, traditions, holidays. The calendar was changed to this guy's motherfucking name. So there's tons of proof that there is a character through history that has lasted. And most scholars, people who study the Bible constantly, even the ones that we cite that, you know, that get into the juicy topics of like Jesus is our God's penis and stuff like that, you know, and they all believe that Jesus existed. So
Matt believes that Jesus existed.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm. And so for me,
I
already went through this when I became like once I lost my faith and the band broke up and we lost the house, and when I lost my faith, I was just like Jesus wasn't fucking real. So I used to say it all the time. And then as I keep listening to all these scholars, they've changed. They're like, he was a real person, but you know,
that's fine.
To what degree we don't know. And these, even the miracles he do, they're all folklore. There's no proof of those. And the reason we're reading the Gospels this way is because they actually contradict each other kind of in these little weird details.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and I guess I should be clear. I don't doubt that a guy was probably around. I don't doubt that, you know.
Yeah.
But you wanna tell me he floated away yelling shit about being the first deadbeat dad? I'll be right back. I just gotta get some smokes. I gotta get some smoke. I'll be right back.
Dude, I've never felt dumber than that laugh I just did. That made me feel so insecure hearing that sound come out. You make my voice so high pitched. I have to turn my mic down quite a bit.
That's why you have the good mic.
Yeah, we'll get there. But I see. I agree with you, and I like that. I'm gonna have to read it again, but like, I think Jesus was initiated into this fucking psychedelic wine ritual. I believe he was coming to update Judaism. I believe he thought the end of the world was near. You know,
which is hysterical.
right?
You know, oh, so he was just another fanatic?
Or maybe he's the amalgamation of all of them. You know what I'm saying? Because like we know so many people tried to do this because Jerusalem Israel as a nation, their entire nation is built around worshiping their God at the temple because there are no other gods. And if you worship any other gods, their God gets fucking pissed, right? Now, if you don't worship him correctly, then the invaders that are coming over the hill are going to kill and rape and pillage and take you. But like over the years, it didn't matter how well they worshipped Yahweh, right? They kept getting conquered and kept getting conquered and every time. So, how many different people throughout time tried to fucking go up against Babylon or Rome or whatever the Persians, whatever the oppressor was at the time. So maybe it's just by the time it gets to Jesus, it's this. That was a pretty stone thought. Thanks for letting me go down that rabbit hole. But
you do you, man. You do you.
Like,
I'll wait
that
here.
was the first time I thought that. I was like, well, yeah.
Well, and the thing, like Jesus never went to Rome.
I don't know. I mean, according to, doesn't he go to India? According to some of the.
Oh no, I'm just talking about the documented shit. The documented, like
No.
if you're a real guy, don't you go where the action is? Go to Rome. Why'd he stay in that fucking flea-ridden? It's like Gladiator, man. He wants to get to the show.
Yeah, he gets killed in Jerusalem.
Are you not entertained?
Does he? Yeah, he doesn't make it that far.
No, he doesn't get very far. From Bethlehem to Jerusalem, it's about 8-minute walk. I googled it.
You googled it because it's not that far. But
I did not.
Or not
no.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously. So I just don't know. I don't know if it's time to start reading about this guy. Then because like you seem so bad about it.
No, it's totally time to read it.
Okay.
I was just talking about the resonance and that shit. It's like that's like the pyramids.
It's
you
hard.
can prove the pyramids have fuck you geometry in them. You can prove this little vase has fuck you geometry. You can't prove shit about Christ. Where's the science behind Christ? It's all faith. It's faith-based.
And I mean, even the Bible says that, faith is the product. What?
Go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, that's how they keep them in the pews.
Fuck that shit, man.
That's why we're doing this, right?
No,
because like this is fun for me forever, and if people who fucking hopefully they're tuning into this episode, not the first ones, but like. Talking logically with you is what helped break me out of fundamentalism. You and Squires and Jonah, because you guys would actually talk with me long enough for me to get my idea across, and you were like, so like, we have a long history of debate when it comes to antiquity. But
what are we at? Where are we at?
Oh shit! Let me go down. On the computer, it's right.
John preaches
first
the Messiah.
Preaching in Galilee.
Oh,
so. Here's the weird part. Now, so far, like, it's not like they've been uniform. Like, right? Matthew starts with the birth narrative. Luke starts with the birth narrative. Mark just starts right when Jesus is getting baptized. But for the most part, the stories have been kind of what you'd say, I guess, unilateral, right? Like they're happening in almost the same order. But now when we get to the first preaching in Galilee, it gets fucking weird. So in order to find it in Luke, you got to go like kind of perfect. You got to go way down. So there's now the order of the stories is going to kind of fucking be off. And is it even in John? I think it's like way far in John. Yeah, it's way far. It's 4:1. As I was reading, it's like John becomes the Wild West from here on out. Like the stories happen in completely different orders. And like, so it's hard for me as like.
Dude, there's a John on Jesus action.
Yeah, because in the book of John, it must have been written to like, Imagine back then, not now, but John the Baptist was like almost more popular. Maybe it was like a Biggie versus Tupac kind of a thing between Jesus and John. So the writer of John was probably trying to persuade people who used to follow John the Baptist before he was beheaded that Jesus was actually
more like Mark Arm versus Kurt Cobain.
Oh wow, that's pretty good to compare. Mark
Because no one knows who the fuck Mark Arm is now.
It's rad. I got to see Mudhoney at the Sunset once.
Yeah.
It was like some fucking. Never mind. We'll go off on forever. But so the preaching in Galilee. Would you want to start like just go left to right, or do you want to start with the earliest?
Well, aren't we going Mark, Matthew, Luke, John?
Just making sure you still wanted to keep it that way. Yeah. So
You tell me.
yeah, let's do it. Mark 1:14.
First preaching in Galilee. Now, after John was arrested, how the fuck did John get arrested? What did he get arrested
happen
for?
quick in Mark. One of the Jesus phrase or one of the phrases in Mark is and then immediately. So it's like fucking shit happens quick. It's
don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
This fucking kiss.
I hope you're paying attention because John just got fucked. Yeah. First preaching in Galilee. Now, after John was arrested, Jesus came into Galilee, preaching the gospel of God and saying, "The time is fulfilled and the kingdom of God is at hand. Repent and believe in the gospel."
Boom. Pretty fucking post-apocalyptic or apocalyptic right there. The time has been fulfilled, bitches. Repent because it's going down.
He's saying basically incoming.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Okay. And then Matthew 4:12.
First preaching in Galilee, Matthew. Now when he heard that John had been arrested, he withdrew into Galilee, and leaving Nazareth, he went and dwelt in Capernaum.
Capernaum. They split him up phonetically like that. All of them. So it's like Zebulon, Naphtali. So
no one likes to know it all.
They're gonna repeat instead of not. I would never say it unless they're gonna repeat.
It's a joke, isn't it?
Okay.
Capernaum by the sea, in the territory of Zebulon and Nefertiti, that was spoken by the prophet Isaiah. You know, because if you figure, if people are reading the Bible for the first time, they don't fucking know what you're talking about. They're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that word. I couldn't pronounce it either."
You don't want to be right though. You know, I don't know. I won't say anything.
I mean, your voice.
As you were starting to read, I was like, "Damn, that voice is sexy." So if that helps at all, that's what I was thinking. So,
it don't matter, Leif. It don't matter how I say it.
Yeah. It's like I think it's good.
Yeah. It's getting hot in here, so take off all my clothes.
I am.
15. I got like this weird cold, like.
Oh shit!
So I apologize to everybody for me like honking and snorting on. I apologize.
Dude, these things get me so ripped. It's I gotta kind of slow down.
Yeah. Oh, you know what you should slow down on is taking them before you do the intro speech.
No, that was just because it was 3:30 in the morning, and it was so hard to get that thing done. And so that's me at the end of my rope, pissed off, just at 3:30 in the morning, smoking a fucking joint, pissed.
High as fuck.
That was there was so many problems. There's sometimes so many problems getting this shit out that it's kind of hard to. Yeah. So normally it should be Kate.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. If it's me, it's because I didn't get it done in time. Kate fell asleep. That's what happened.
I got you. All right. And leaving Nazareth, he went and dwelt in Capernaum. What is it?
Capernaum.
Capernaum by the sea, in the territory of. Say it for me.
Oh, what's it? Give me the verse.
Zebulon.
Zebulon.
And Naphtali.
Naphtali. Yeah, Naphtali.
That was spoken by the prophet Isaiah. Oh, shit. And leaving Nazareth, he went and dwelt in Capernaum by the sea, in the territory of Zebulun and Naphtali.
Nice.
That what was spoken by the prophet Isaiah might be fulfilled. I just can't stand this fucking cherry picking, like backfilling, like
they're trying to, the audience, this Matthew's talking to some Jews, so they've read the fucking Old Testament. They
I
know the book of
understand.
Isaiah.
I
Yeah.
understand that, but Mark doesn't do it.
I know, but so it starts coming out when you read them this way. It is like, I don't know, propaganda is not the right word, right? But like,
No, it is.
you
It's
said
totally
cherry picking? Yeah, like.
well, propaganda, like they're like they're cherry whatever. They're backloading this. Oh, see? Remember what Isaiah, your guy, he was talking about this.
They're fucking gaslighting.
And the Jews, and the Jews, they're like, you're so full of shit.
Yeah,
that's not what Isaiah was talking about. I've
Remember
read the
when you
fucking
promised this? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, my bad. Sorry.
Have you seen this
in fulfillment of the scriptures? You know what I don't. I didn't realize how many times in the Catholic service they say "in fulfillment of the scriptures." They say it all day long. They say it 100 times in that fucking service. What's that?
Company men.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I never realized what they were doing. I never understood that. I'm really super. That's one of the things I think is the coolest about this little project of ours.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They're trying to convince Jews this is their guy.
Yeah.
To this day, and like Jews don't give a shit about Jesus. They're not going to change now, but the Catholic service stays like fucking nose into the wind on this one.
It's a big deal. In fact, I think there's
not a big deal.
There's a lot of writers that say Christianity kick off anti-Semitism. I mean, obviously they've been getting conquered for a long time, so I don't think that's necessarily too true. But yeah, it definitely fuels it. Yeah, I mean, fucking Hitler was a Catholic.
Yeah, the fucking Catholic Church was in bed. They were like fucking. They had a foot in both. Whatever.
Alien technology, bruh.
I gotta. Have you? Did you watch that Looking for Hitler thing?
No. What's his name? Tim Kennedy.
Yeah.
I love that guy, but no.
You should go. You should watch it. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that? We didn't finish the Matthew though, huh?
No, I'm not even. Yeah, I just couldn't get through it. I couldn't get through it.
That's probably
that was spoken by the prophet Isaiah might be filled, fuckers. The land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali.
Yeah, Naphtali.
Whatever, dude. Naphtali.
You did
toward
great.
the sea across the Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. The people who sat in darkness have seen a great light. And for those who sat in the region and shadow of death, light has dawned. From that time, Jesus began to preach, saying, "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand."
Fucking, kind of like you said, it's happening.
Yeah,
right.
I think Matthew said it better.
Right. He's like, this shit's going down.
Yeah.
Now, hilariously, I guess Luke doesn't think this is that big of a deal because he's like.
So Luke 4:14.
Yeah.
First preaching in the Galilee, and Jesus returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee, and a report concerning him went out through all the surrounding country, and he taught in their synagogues, being glorified by all.
Short and sweet.
Doesn't even mention it's not on. It's not on.
It's not on, and Jesus seems to have like a six-pack, he's like coming in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? I see like a glorified.
Why?
I just and Jesus returned in the power of the Spirit. So for me, I always see like arms out floating a little bit, like white Jesus.
Like Chris Cornell.
There's
Chris Cornell Jesus.
You know what I'm saying?
Can we just start calling white Jesus Chris Cornell Jesus?
Fucking, that's pretty badass, actually.
Yeah. I want to know how Jesus shaved that little mustache back in the day. Because he had that shit. If he had the Spirit of the Lord, he was like, he just do it with his fucking fingers and his fucking mind.
Well, the Bible says God knows every hair on your head and can count them. So,
yeah, that's creepy as fuck. Okay, and then we get to John. John 4:1. Now, when the Lord knew that the Pharisees had heard that Jesus was making and baptizing more disciples than John, although Jesus himself did not baptize, but only his disciples.
Because you know what
He
I'm
left
saying?
Judea and departed again to Galilee.
Like, what the fuck story is that? Like, compared to the other ones. Like,
You know what I think we should do?
that is none of the same facts at all. That is nothing.
I think we should keep score, and everyone I think one of the four guys should win every verse.
Okay, so, but and again, this is beautiful because this is kind of boistering up your beginning comments of like how do we even know? Right? So what we have and the way we just read them was, at least from our best fucking guess from this vantage point, from this POV, we read the first gospel written, then the second, then the third, then the fourth. And I always go with Mark for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't mean to, but I really like it.
Well, it seems so far to just be as concise as it gets. It's all killer, no filler. You know,
Right.
like he's not trying to convince you of anything. He's like, look, this is what I fucking heard, man. You can fucking take it or leave it.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, but Jesus, again, he in this book, Jesus never explicitly says he's God. I think other people keep calling him God, but he's like, shh. You know,
right?
So
it's like
what a different.
It's like the king. It's like the King's Speech guy never calls himself doctor. Lionel.
Oh, I don't know the story.
You ever see King's Speech?
Mm-mm.
The movie?
Mm-mm.
Oh, gotta see it. It's great.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Whatever. What's Elizabeth? Did she just die? Queen Elizabeth?
Yeah.
So her dad had a stutter.
Oh.
And her dad was her dad's brother was the king and abdicated for that woman, for the American divorcee, right? Like he was super infatuated with her. She was sort of whatever. She had skills that made him enamored.
And, good with her mouth.
Maybe. I'm not saying nothing.
Her speech impediments.
No.
Okay, the doctor wasn't.
The one who abdicated, he didn't have a speech impediment, but his little brother had a stutter.
Oh, okay.
And when he abdicated to the throne, his little brother, the stutterer, became king.
Okay.
And so there's this true story, and Lionel Logue is this Australian guy who, after World War I, became this speech therapist, and Elizabeth's mom found this guy after they tried to use all the normal. Never mind. After they'd used all the normal, English doctors.
Yeah.
And he totally helped him. And it's sort of like, what the fuck was I? Why was even bringing this up now?
Oh, because they're parroting each other and changing. It was the Gospels and the stories. And
Christ never says he's God. Lionel Logue, like at some point, the powers that be are trying to get in between the king and the speech therapist because they're too close. And they come by and they tell the king.
Oh my God.
They tell the king, that guy's not even a doctor. And Lionel's like, when the king confronts him, he's like, you're the one that's always called me doctor. I've always said, please just call me Lionel. I don't have it. It's not advertised that way. I don't say it just says speech therapist. You can decide what you want to do with this. And he totally they stay friends and he helps him and he is there for every speech. But that same thing where it's like, Jesus is not saying he's God. He never does he?
Well, he does in the other Gospels a bunch. But especially when you get to John. John, he's like, I'm fucking God. Like, it's going to keep getting more dramatic. That? John
says he's God?
The latest one. Yeah, and we've already seen it here. Like, John, its story of this preaching in Galilee it doesn't even have any of the same details as the other ones, really. No. There's other people there. And the rhetorical point, it seems, of John's gospel is to convince people that Jesus is better than John, that he was high, that he was, it's all about that.
Is he saying that Jesus is too good to baptize people?
Yeah, right. Because obviously if John baptized Jesus, that means John is more holy than the Son of God, right?
Right.
because he was the one. And so it's like, Jesus has to be bigger than him.
Are we going? Are we going to
Yeah,
move
let's
on?
try the calling of the disciples, because as you're going to scroll down, and again for people listening at home, we have a website where we can see each one of the gospels side by side, and because now it's going to get confusing because you sometimes
How far down is it on Mark, or is it up?
it's right next in Mark. We're going to go in that order, so it's the next story. Mark is the
Oh,
second one over.
sorry, my bad.
No,
Go ahead.
that's there because now it's the Wild West out here.
And
The
where
fucking stories are going
and what about
everywhere.
and what about Luke? Where is Luke up or down?
I don't think it's in Luke.
What do they call it?
Yeah, calling of the first disciples in John is way before. It's up at 135.
Okay.
So not in Luke, but in John in a different order.
And it's not in Luke at all.
No.
Okay. All right. Calling the fucking first disciple. And passing along by the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and Andrew, the brother of Simon, casting a net in the sea, for they were fishermen. And Jesus said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you become fishers of men."
Fuck yeah.
You see what he did there?
See what he did there?
He's a little
He's a great teacher.
wordsmith, lyrical miracle.
I like him.
He's the guy who wrote "Kumbaya, my Lord."
What a banger.
Yeah.
What a banger.
And immediately they left their nets and followed him, because they're like, "I want to become a fisher of men."
Motherfucker. Talking about the YMCA.
And going on a little further, he saw James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, who were in their boat mending the nets. And immediately he called to them. He said, "Hey!" And they left their father in the boat with the hired servants and followed him.
Yeah.
Oh, calling the first disciples plural.
Well,
Okay, that's what Mark had to say about
Mark had to say.
Matthew goes on to say, as he walked by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew, his brother,
Okay.
casting a net into this. All right.
Okay.
Um,
So far.
Yeah. Yeah, his name was Simon, but everybody calls him Peter.
Well, yeah, actually, that's kind of fun because he's like Peter. It's more like Rocky because he was hard headed. Like Peter, the word would have been more like Rocky because he's like the one that always fucks up. He's the one that denies Jesus. He's the one that tries to walk on the water and fails. He's the most human. You know, he's
He's the protagonist.
He means well. He means well.
Yeah. Simon, who is called Rocky, and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And he said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." Immediately they left their nets and followed him. And going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, in the boat with Zebedee, their father, mending their nets. And he called them. Immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. Those are dumb stories.
Dude,
Sorry,
it shows that these people, and I mean, even Jesus says it, if you're not willing to leave your father or your mother or your brother or your sister, then you're not a follower of me. It was these people, they whatever this Jesus character was doing out there, they left their house, home, job, and just started fucking trekking next to him.
Okay, Fox News John says, the next
God.
day, again, John was standing with two of his disciples. Wait, John's just constantly just hacking it. John's just hacking away at John the Baptist constantly. The next day, again, John was standing with two of his disciples, and he looked at Jesus as he walked and said, "Behold the Lamb of God."
Confirmation.
The two disciples heard him say this, and they followed Jesus. Jesus turned and saw them following and said to them, "What do you seek?" And they said to him, "Rabbi," which means teacher, "where are you going? Where are you staying?" He said to them, "Come and see." They came and saw where he was staying, and they stayed with him that day, for it was about the 10th hour. One of the two who heard John speak and followed him was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. He first found his brother Simon and said to him, "We have found the Messiah," which means Christ. He brought him to Jesus. Jesus looked at him and said, "So you are Simon, son of John. You shall be called Cephas, you hard-headed fuck." The next day, Jesus decided to go to Galilee. Hey, let's go to Galilee. We'll get a slice.
Some pinball.
We'll get a slice. And he found Philip and said to him, "Follow me." Now Philip was from Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip found Nathanael and said to him, "We have found him of whom Moses in the law and also the prophets wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph." Nathanael said to him, "Can anything good come out of Nazareth?"
Boom. We
Mic
have
drop.
to talk. We have to talk about that, but maybe not right now. That's
Why?
huge, though.
Why?
Well, because the Messiah is supposed to be born from Bethlehem, and that's why the Luke and Matthew do such a big deal of getting Jesus to fucking Bethlehem, right? That's why the angels and fucking wise men and shit. So right here, the one thing they all also agree with, all four Gospels agree with, is that Jesus is from Nazareth. And now fucking John just states it explicitly right here. So that's why his disciples like, fucking that can't be right. Messiah's not supposed to be from there.
Oh, I understand now. You know what we should do? And I mean by we, I mean you, the editor. Is every time I say Nazareth, we should play the opening guitar lick of Mississippi Queen. Yeah, sorry. Or you could just do it verbally.
Well, I think we have to do it verbally because the algorithms will find it and take it down.
Right. Okay.
Yep. But there's more. This is crazy.
Okay. Can anything good come out of that shithole Nazareth?
Right.
Philip said to him, "Come and see, bitch." I said it, bitch. Jesus saw Nathanael coming to him and said of him, "Behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile." Nathanael said to him, "How do you know me?" Jesus answered him, "Before Philip called you, when you were under the fig tree, I saw you. I saw you jerking off to that sheep." Nathanael said, "Oh my God, you must be the Lord." Nathanael answered him, "Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel." Jesus answered him, "Hey, look, I just saw you jerking off. You don't got to make such a big deal out of it. Because I said to you, I saw you under the fig tree. Do you believe? You shall see greater things than these." And he said to him, "Truly, truly, I say to you, you will see heaven opened and the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man."
Dude. Okay, can we take 5 seconds? Right? Can we take
a hard sell, man? He's just
dude, like, Mark is like, what is this?
Sink, bathroom sink, pedestal, fucking knife set, fucking pots and pans.
We've got 5 verses in Mark of this story, and it's just about these guys, fucking fishermen, leaving their jobs and their family to follow Jesus. And in this one, right,
for no reason.
Well, yeah, and I guess this one they're given reasons because he can tell them everything they've been doing. Like, and he's like, "Oh, so this little trick fucking gets you hard? Like, wait till you see fucking heaven open.
Wait till I show you the big guns."
Dude, maybe these were passed down orally, a story.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, it was John on Jesus action, man. Come on.
So
This is how you do it. You hold the balls, work the shaft.
like a piece of pizza. Hold it like a piece of pizza.
Drop that shit. Come on, what are you doing? Oh, Jesus. Stop slapping, John. Just morons. Morons.
Oh, we're making the Bible fun. We try to make the Bible fun.
Fun with the Bible.
Hey, you get fucking rock stars to read the Bible, assholes.
Yeah.
Anyone out there judging us for fucking? Come on.
You go sit under the tree.
I mean, it is. I think it begs a lot to fucking point that out, like how short the other stories, especially the earliest one, we have of this are compared to this, and like even Matthew, I can kind of see, like it's so similar to Mark that it's. Like,
you know what? I guess if we're keeping score, I'm giving this one to John.
John is the best book. Well, John has the coolest shit in it.
Well,
it's like
but okay, but I'm
but
just
it's
saying.
Not real.
Well,
it's the worst with.
Well, so if you're gauging, you're like the part where they just they're working. Jesus drop a thing and run after him. It's like I need a little bit more than that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I need a little bit more than like what? I need some context.
Well, I think that's probably how it evolved, right?
Yeah.
Because the earliest stories are so small. They're like,
why would they do that?
Why?
Why? They're like 5-year-olds. Why?
Right.
Actually,
over the years, they're like, let's fill this shit in. Now
what if he saw a vision of him and told him he was jerking off under a tree or something?
Yeah. Oh, I like it. Let's fly that one up there. All right, now, and what if he was talking about like better things to come? Like he's gonna see some angels coming from heaven and landing on his shoulder and shit. Do you think they'd like that shit?
I don't know. Put it in there. Just put it in there. What's up? We'll see what happens.
And like,
what's the worst thing that happen? We get stoned.
Yeah, and now we have fucking tax-free fucking little institutions everywhere that won't feed the poor people. Like fucking
worked out really well for them, didn't it? Worked out very, very well. Sweet business model, gentlemen.
Fucking weird, man.
Yeah, it is fucking weird.
I like.
Oh, dude, and have you watched The Family?
No. What's this? Tell me.
It's on Netflix.
No, tell me about this.
It's just the it's the church. It's like this church. It's the church, but you'll love it. Oh my God, I meant to talk to you about this because it's like they think of Jesus as not like a wimpy dude. He's like a Navy SEAL. He's a stealth fucking annihilator. and they're like this guy. I don't know if he's still alive. We haven't finished it because it gets super intense and it's like, God, how much of it can you watch? Yeah. But he's been like meeting with. So you know the every year there's a Sunday prayer breakfast.
Oh, I have seen this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
I was trying at the beginning when you were saying this shit. I was the King speech thing. I was trying to remember the name of this documentary.
Yeah. The family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And can you correct me if I'm wrong? They have only the sayings of Jesus in a book, and that's what they follow?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Tiny book. Jesus.
Yes, it's just Jesus. Because it's like you can take these 4 stories and squish them together and amalgamate out this really interesting thing. Because the one thing we seem to know, I'm gonna try to say these words better in front of you. So to seem to know about Jesus that he was poor. He was poor. He didn't have anything. He was uneducated, and it was a religion for those people. You know, so like, what better tool to manipulate and keep those motherfuckers in line? Just the words of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like the easiest to like fucking. There's They're
not concerned with people who. They're not concerned with uneducated, starving people. They're concerned with people in power have been put there by Jesus. And no matter what they do, they should stay in power because Jesus will forgive them.
That King David shit, when the guys cheat on their wives and they're like, well, just like King David. And right? It's like just moving the fucking goal line.
Yep.
Just like...
Yeah. For real,
There was a buddy of mine that worked at our...
I want to be in the family. If
No,
it's going
you
to be like
don't.
that, dude. Well, and the thing that I'm starting to get is this prayer thing. Like, I'm super. You know how like, can I pray for you? Can I
Oh
pray for
yeah,
you? Leif, can I
I've
pray
done
for you
that a
right now?
billion times, man.
Can I pray for you right now?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, JC. Look, I really, first of all, I want to offer our love and respect eternally to you. We're really happy this day. We've got fancy lights and all this technology that you provide us with, and I've got an Apple and a laptop and an iPad. Leif's got a really nice apartment in Santa Monica. We really appreciate all the shit you've set us up with, and we just really hope you keep doling it out to us. And fuck yeah, JC, we love you, brother. Cheers. That's
Yeah,
what
but
they do. That's what they do. They're just like, oh well, it's all going really fucking good. Here's to you in the name of Jesus Christ. We ask these things.
I think
Dude, I'm into it. I'm into it.
see, but the Bible's totally against that because Jesus teaches you how to pray in the Bible. So if you know that shit, you'd realize that it's like it's actually not supposed to be kind of centered at you. It's not to be focused on you.
Yeah, but Jesus is dead, or he's not here. He's not here.
You're going full prosperity gospel.
He's not here, and I'm just gonna bet. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, but I would bet. I would make this bet if I could. I would bet everything I have and everything I'm ever gonna have that he's not gonna show up before I die. So I'll take my chances on the afterlife, and if that's how people are doing it now, because they're running everything. They've got like. Okay.
Did you see how much money the Mormon Church has? You should just type that into Google. Like, there's a big lawsuit going on because they're like, I can't remember. I don't
like, is it like all the?
They're one of the largest real estate investors in the world.
Yeah.
They have one of the biggest portfolios ever. Like homes, they own everything.
Yeah.
But also, man, I fucking like me some Mormons sometimes, so I ain't trying to talk shit. I think there's a lot of great people that like Dan's one. So
Whatever.
yeah, but
it's still a religion. It's still a religion. It's an organized religion that wants to,
for the
I like the
family
community.
shit's scary.
What?
Yeah, the community thing is cool. The community thing is
we
beautiful.
love the community. We love micro. It's the macro that bothers us. That's part of our mission statement.
I really think that if this shit is even half real, it's just so obvious that Satan is like the Pope and like just crawled right into the top of the hierarchies of this because they're doing the exact opposite of what the dude says.
Yeah.
Like, but isn't it weird to see how the stories kind of morph?
No, I mean it's not
Not
weird
for
at all.
you.
Actually,
See,
well, no, I mean
it's still. I read this like these a couple times this morning, and like it's weird. And this is it's not even the first fucking time I've done this. So it's like,
yeah, no, you know what's coming.
but no, that's the problem. Is every time I'm just like, what is going on? Because like you're taught. I was taught that the Bible speaks with what's called univocality, with one voice. So these stories are all one story. But all the same.
But are they? You're taught that. You're supposed to take them all, everything, what they all say. You mash it together, and that's the story.
It kind of just doesn't get talked about. But yes, essentially each book was written for a different audience, and so they're focusing on different sides of the same story.
Right. So basically, they're saying, "Shut up, Leif. Don't ask."
I got in a lot of trouble. Like I always got in
Leif, did I
trouble.
tell you last week? What did I tell you, Leif? Shut up.
Yeah,
Before that, what did they say to you?
Bad.
They said, "Shut up."
They said, "Why do you ask so many questions in front of everyone?" They would always do that.
Did they really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because you got a fucking brain on top of your fucking salad bar.
Can't spell for shit. Never done math, but he knows this is dumb.
Are we moving on?
Well, what time is it? Oh yeah, let me
11:14.
open this shit up. Let's do. You want to do one more? I like it. So let me get to. It's on authority in Capernaum. Now we got to fight. It gets so messy. I don't know if that one's in Matthew. So again, this is what's going to be kind of hard for conveying to the audience what's going on. I'll try to edit it to make sense and shit, but like the stories.
No.
Specifically in John, start varying wildly from this part, like in order.
But wait, it's not in John or it's not in Luke?
It's not in Matthew or John. It's in Mark,
Mark
and we
and
have the
Luke,
same
okay.
story in Luke.
What number is it on in Luke?
In Luke, it's 431, and in Mark, it's
I got it.
121. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, that's the
Okay.
perfect way to do that.
Okay, Mark, motherfucker, drop the knowledge. On authority in Capernaum. And they went into Capernaum, and immediately on the Sabbath he entered the synagogue and taught. And they were astonished at his teaching, for he taught them as one who had authority, and not as the scribes. And immediately there was in their synagogue a man with an unclean spirit, and he cried out, "What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth?
That's fucking sweet.
Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." But Jesus rebuked him, saying, "Be silent, bitch, and come out of him." And the unclean spirit, convulsing him and crying with a loud voice, came out of him. And they were all amazed, so that they questioned among themselves, saying, "What the fuck? A new teaching? With authority he commands even the unclean spirits, and they obey him." And at once his fame spread everywhere, throughout all the surrounding regions of Galilee.
Hell yeah,
That's
dude.
Mark. What do you think John would have said about that shit?
Oh, dude.
Well, he was fucking levitating on his back, and he did some 360s.
There are going to be stories that are similar, and that's there's like they could be the same story that has changed over time, right? Like
it looks pretty fucking similar on Luke. So Luke goes on to say that, and he went down to Capernaum, a city of Galilee, and he was teaching them on the Sabbath, and they were astonished at his teaching, for his word was with authority. And in the synagogue there was a man who had the spirit of an unclean demon. And he cried out with a loud voice, "Ah! What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." But Jesus rebuked him, saying, "Be silent, bitch, and come out of him." And when the demon had thrown him down in the midst, he came out of him, having done him no harm. And they were all amazed and said to one another, "What is the fucking word? What is this word? For with authority and power he commands the unclean spirits, and they come out." And reports of him went out into every place in the surrounding region. Pretty similar.
Pretty similar. There's do you like Stephen King? I can't remember.
Yeah. I like his earlier stuff.
Yeah, there's this character like in the stand. Well, he's actually in every book. He's like mostly called Randall Flagg. I think in the Children of the Corn he's called He Who Walks Behind the Roads. In the fucking Dark Tower series, it's the Man in Black, but it's like Satan, you know. And I think it's in The Stand. It like reveals that it's actually one of these demons, not this one. There's a one coming up where Jesus sends him into some pigs, and it's like it's not a demon; it's like a fuckload of demons.
Nice.
And they're called. It's like come out, and then are they like what's in there? It's like we are legion.
Oh, my name is Legion, for we are many.
Yeah, for we are many. It's so fucking cool to me. Like,
so I have a hilarious story about that. It has nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
But when that fella and I were making the first Loaded record, we were writing the song
blonde guy,
big tall blonde guy,
big tall blonde guy, great triceps.
Yeah, he's all torso. We jammed with everybody. We were looking for a guitar player. This was like when Lanigan was still in the band.
Squires was interesting. Yeah, okay. This is way before that then.
Before Squires, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And we played with everybody. And at one point, he's like, "My nephew wants to come jam with us."
Oh no.
I'm like, "Okay,
is that okay?
Whatever." Yeah, whatever.
It gets touchy.
And somehow it turned out that like some girl that I was like friends with Um,
Like biblically speaking.
whatever. She knew this guy, and he's like, yeah, he's got a devil tattoo. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like he's got a tattoo around his belly button that says Legion, for we are many. And and
That's
and,
so badass.
and so and so is this guy shows up and he's a bass player, and we would just I'm like, okay, let's go, and we would just jam. Like that's how we would write songs. We'd like just
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just start and we put this
Yep.
guy we put this kid through his fucking paces. We were like 10 minutes later, his fucking fingers are all blistered and bleeding and shit, and he's like, well, it's buttoned up for me, and I'm like, hey, do you have a I think I told dude that his nephew had a tattoo, and so like he's like, hey, do you have a devil tattoo? Yeah, it says, he totally did. It was
That's a fucking killer tattoo.
yeah, it was sort of a ghetto tattoo, like he'd made it in prison or something, but it kind of a great idea.
Seems like it's cooler.
I guess if you're gonna get
but
a
it is
devil
funny
tattoo.
when you like, yeah, like when you go from like when you play with pros, it's just when you realize there's levels to the game, you know?
You can't just roll in without chops.
I mean,
It was
I've rolled
fun. It was
into
super
this. I've been, yeah.
I couldn't do it
not
now.
been prepared.
No.
Still do it. That's all I do, pretty much. I still just write and jam, sing, jam. I like music.
Yeah.
I love it. Fucking love it, especially after that stupid ass house. But like, it would be hilarious if everything in the universe is operated by, and manipulated with vibrations, because it seems like we would have younger Geoff and Leif would have been onto something from the get-go with this whole music deal.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the language is truncated. I think that it used to be more than just music, and I think that's why music is so powerful.
yeah.
We just don't understand its full power, Like, when you get
I hope we do
that whole
find out a
seance
little
thing
bit.
going. What we won't.
I mean,
they're saying you can fix anything that ails you, anything that has a resonance, and if you like you can melt tumors by finding their resonance and shooting the opposite. I can't speak to it, but it's like, I mean, it all makes sense, But
I mean, I'm high as shit, so it makes perfect sense.
yeah, fucking makes all the sense in the
I
world,
can taste
brother.
it, brother.
Oh yeah, I can taste it. Tastes like
But
a C flat.
I mean, it does seem like it could work, though. It's so simple.
Star Trek, that little, the thing that the doctor has. Fucking better. Vibrations.
Oh, wow.
I just made that up.
Well, outside of drugs, it is like, I mean, why do you think they start church off with music? It like synchronizes hearts and brains, and
Yeah,
it's really weird. Like it has a hypnotic effect over people, especially if they're parts. Yeah.
How to read the Bible? Let's get
Yeah, we need to update a lot of shit.
That's my favorite. That should be I want to just go right in after that. Don't tell people what's coming. Fuck that shit.
We gotta give credit to our one sponsor.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
it's all good. I'm not telling you what to do.
Oh man, no, I'm not even taking it that way.
Yeah.
No, this is. Oh man, now we're talking business. We're still on the podcast. What am I doing?
What are you doing, man?
What am I doing? Sorry, I got really high. I was just happy.
Okay. Yeah,
I was just happy. Well,
we really appreciate everybody listening.
We do. Thank you so much. And I really hope this is as fascinating to you as it is to me, because I fucking love this Bible shit.
Are you talking to everybody else or talking to me?
You mostly, but yeah, to them too.
Dude, this is my favorite part so far. I loved Genesis, love Genesis. But and this, like the comparing the stories, is exactly what I want to do. It's exactly.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see, like, because I mean, what if it is just different sides of the same story? Like, because, I have different stories with you than someone else has with you. You know what I'm saying? Events and places and hangouts. And
the only difference is that you're a real person. And scene. Have a
Okay,
lovely
yeah.
afternoon, everyone.
That paid the bills right there.
Money shot.
Yeah.
Everybody's listening saw that coming a mile away. Leif.
Yeah, they did. Thank God.
Low hanging fruit.
To be honest, when I edit this stuff, it is a little bit humbling sometimes because I get so stoned. I'll miss your point completely. I'll be like, "You fucking little fuck."
And then you'll get it when you're
fucking
editing.
roller skating bitch. Yeah, it sucks. That's good shit.
Color. I like the color.
Yeah. We're gonna get those too, by the way.
Yeah. We need swag. That'll happen. Okay, I gotta pee, man. It's gotta happen.
Right. Yeah, I love you, brother. I love you. I look forward to this all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, cheers.